licensed travel agency company in Grenada, serving our clients and businesses for over 40 years. IATA accredited, we issue tickets on 280 airlines, representatives for Condor, the German airlines, and main agents for Virgin, KLM and Air France. We're specialists to the Middle East. Walk in to our ticket office at Morris Bishop Highway, call 439-4444, WhatsApp 534-7755 or visit caribjet.com.
Hassle-free loans for your every need. Cards have you covered, best believe. Cards Ready Cash is for everyone. Not to worry, fast approval. Hurry up and come. We got it all, we on the go. Cards Ready Cash, you already know. We got it all, we on the go. Cards Ready Cash, always ready when you're ready, let's go.
Cards Ready Cash, ready when you are.
Experienced drivers, you've ruled the road. Now you can enjoy the rewards with Beacon's 50-plus car insurance plan. Get hassle-free sign-up, affordable payment options, and a free windscreen cover. Call us at 440-4447 or log on to beacon.co.tt and get driving with Beacon today.
Hello and welcome to the MTV Evening News for Monday, the 23rd of January. And coming up this evening, Union calls on CaneCo to rethink its decision to release harvesters. Chief Medical Officer says COVID-19 has not completely left Grenada. Sonova partners with ECCB to roll out digital or D-Cash. And in sport, Grenada Olympic Committee launches beach tennis. We'll have details to those and other stories. A look to, of course, at the latest public forecast information. So right after the break, stay with us.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News comes to complement Nexa Credit Union. With you wherever your road leads.
But when you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever your road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever your road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next side, next side, next side, right next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Good evening, I'm Tony Julian with the details. After receiving letters of dismissal and being instructed to reapply as seasonal employees, CaneCo Limited harvesters and their union representative expressed discontent with the company's management on Monday. The union, in responding to the surprise decision by the company, said that they'd submitted a proposal to CaneCo in December last year but got no response. Instead, the employees were issued termination letters. Tonia St. Louis Lawrence tells us more.
We now take a loan from the credit union and look, we out our job now. We don't know how we're going to pay back the credit union. I get a job letter from the company, which means that I was a permanent worker and I could get loan from any institution. And I went in the bank and took a loan on that behalf so that I could make my life better. And now that I'm in that situation now.
I don't know why they give me the job letter if they know that was going to happen. So now, how you think I would pay for that loan now? Huh? So I just wonder what is going on with this company, you know?
Solidarity, unity, and one justice. Solidarity, unity, and one justice. Solidarity, unity, and one justice.
Several affected harvesters of Kenco as they question the motive of the employer to release them from their duties. In December, the Bank and General Workers Union presented the company with a proposal with the hope of negotiating the terms of employment for the workers. However, that did not happen and the workers were dismissed. Field officer for the union is Jaron Griffith.
Management would now need to submit a counter proposal. We'll meet on the negotiation table, work it out, and in the end or the conclusion of that negotiation would create the industrial agreement. So far, management has not sent back a counter proposal for us, but only sent a letter saying that they wish to sever the workers.
According to Griffith, in the past, the company ensured that alternative duties were assigned to the 27 employees.
Management presented their reasons that they're saying that if you look around, the cane is not yet ready for harvesting. But however, in the past, when this occurred, the workers would be absorbed into the maintenance department. So the next section of workers who deal with cleaning out the cane and so forth. So usually the practice is that they'll be absorbed into that department and work so they wouldn't be affected monetarily from getting a wage.
According to a release from the company, it had to restructure some of its operations while ensuring that they remain within industry standards. And as such, several of the workers whose work was seasonal but were kept on to sustain the company's production capacity are now being asked to work at the standard that exists in the industries worldwide. As per the Employment Act, Kenco Limited has terminated the current contracts of employment with the sugarcane harvesters and offered immediate re-employment under new contracts as seasonal sugarcane harvesters. Each terminated worker shall receive all statutory compensation to which he or she is entitled.
Dr. Sean Charles, Chief Medical Officer, says that COVID-19 has not completely left Grenada. On the Ministry of Health's program Next Chapter, he gave an update while stating that the Ministry of Health records several cases each week. As the flow of data does not permit a daily update, the ministry has previously released COVID data through a daily dashboard. However, Dr. Charles reports that they are currently working on publishing the data in another way.
So let me just say that the current average, 7-day average for Grenada right now is about 5 cases per day. Right. I hope that news isn't surprising to many individuals. The previous week, all right, so for the previous week, we were around 4 cases per day. And we continue to monitor the situation.
There are currently 58 active instances, although according to Dr. Charles, the numbers may not be accurate due to difficulties with restricted testing.
I mean, compared to the number of testing that we used to do in the past, it's significantly lower now than before. And we know that there are many individuals who, may have flu-like symptoms and they do not get tested.
Right.
All right. So it is likely that this figure is not the accurate picture. It allows us to, identify any trend, whether we are going up or going down. But it is likely not the accurate picture, and it's a situation that is happening not just here in Grenada, right? Because the disease may be not as bad as previously. Many persons are simply not coming forward. We have sufficient supplies for testing. We have sufficient test kits to test our population. But like I say, because the disease is maybe not as severe as previous bouts that we've had, many persons simply they don't come forward to get testing. And even in addition, there are like self-testing kits that are out there that persons may make use of, and that data is not reported to us readily. So, you know, it is difficult to get an accurate picture as to the number of cases out there.
Grenada has reported 19,750 cases of COVID since the epidemic began, of which 19,454 have now recovered and 238 have died. The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, or ECCB, and one of Grenada's top software development firms have partnered to support the introduction of Dcash, or digital currency, in Grenada. This company will also offer technical support and training to individuals and business owners alike who want to conduct transactions using the Dcash platform. But let's get more on it from Troy Gill.
Local software development company located in Springs, St. George, Sonova Incorporated, has partnered with the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank to facilitate the implementation and use of digital cash, or Dcash, in Grenada in the new year. According to CEO and co-founder of Sonova, Chad Fraser, they will be facilitating training and providing technical support to business owners and entrepreneurs in the use of the Dcash platform.
So this partnership essentially is would entail us sending what we call Dcash champions out into the communities to sensitize people about the platform, about the format of the currency, as well as help them to sign up for the app. We also will be working with small businesses. So the con man by the road, the barbecue lady, or the barbecue man by the road, helping them get their account set up, and also facilitating them in activating their account and so forth.
He also highlighted what the Dcash app entails.
So the same $5 bill that you have in your pocket, they created a digital equivalent of it. It's actually minted by the bank, and in order to store that digital dollar, you would use what they call a digital wallet, and a digital wallet is what the Dcash app is. Essentially, you download the Dcash app, and it allows you to store that digital dollar, and also be able to send that dollar to anyone in your contact list, anyone who else who has the app, as well as be able to receive that digital dollar. For businesses, it allows you to do a few more things, including being able to collect payments and so forth for your services or goods.
The use of physical cash provides its own challenges and drawbacks as well, Fraser said. However, with Dcash, transactions can not only be done locally, but regionally as well.
Cash itself has a lot of disadvantages to it, in that it's not secure. You could literally lose $10, it drops, it falls off your pocket, somebody could pickpocket. For businesses, you have to invest in security to have deposits made. It's very tedious to manage cash. Also for regional commerce, you do business with organizations in other ECCO islands, and a lot of times it requires them wiring money to you, which can be a headache on its own. They can instantly send you your payments, virtually. So in addition to supporting local commerce, I think it also would play a significant part in facilitating regional commerce as well.
For MTV News, Troy Gill.
With a new name and address, the GUT Cooperative Credit Union is now better able to serve its members by giving them a more up-to-date, practical and cozy banking experience. The term Nexus, which means connection, inspired the new name, which honors the part the credit union has played in the lives of its founding members, as we now hear in this report.
This rebrand is more than a name change. It is not a replacement of the GUT Credit Union. It is an evolution of the credit union, building on the legacy and values of the founding members, teachers, such as community, financial education, and support. And as a former teacher myself, I'm fully aware of the importance that the credit union holds to the teaching fraternity.
That was the General Manager of HANESCA, Mrs. Ritisha Boyd. The credit union held its rebranding and relocation ceremony on Sunday. From GUT Credit Union to NESCA Credit Union, the aim of the rebranding is to build a more effective service for customers. The credit union will also be celebrating 40 years this year, 2023. Mr. Lewis Williams, the NESCA president, spoke on why the credit union decided to rebrand and relocate.
The rebranding is a reflection of the excellent work that the pioneers have done, that the teachers have done. You know, it's like building your home. You just leave school and you make an effort and you build a little home. Later on, as you become more affluent and you start acquiring more, you have better things, you decide to build that dream home or to expand. Are you saying that because you expand and you now have a 3-bedroom as opposed to a 1-bedroom, that you are doing injustice to your initial efforts? No.
Parliamentary representative for the town of St. George, Peter David, was present at the rebranding. He says Maurice Bishop will be proud for all the credit union has done in Grenada. He says this rebranding is a huge achievement for Grenada.
The Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce and established the National Commercial Bank. And that building still exists. And then the Royal Bank of Canada was housed here. And the Royal Bank of Canada became the Grenada Bank of Commerce. So the credit unions, I dare say, are now fulfilling that vision of local financial institutions that are sensitive to our local needs and our people's demands.
Senator the Honorable Adriana Thomas, Minister for State with responsibility for cooperatives, was present at the rebranding.
It blends nicely with the transformational agenda of our government. Your head office is often considered your business' most important location, your heartbeat. And being located here at this strategic junction in St. George, it will definitely lend prestige to the city and help in attracting more customers to the area.
The feature address was delivered by Dr. Valda Henry, Deputy Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. Nikita Hostin, MTV News.
At the next rebranding event on Sunday, Peter David, the town of St. George's parliamentary representative, discussed pressing problems faced by the community, such as parking and cleanliness, and he offered potential solutions, as we hear now from Nikita.
To take part in the life of the city, I believe, and I've urged other businesses in the city to develop an organization of city business persons, business entities. There are many issues facing the city.
That was Parliamentary Representative for the town of St. George, Peter David, speaking at the rebranding and relocation ceremony of HANESCA. David spoke of the importance of the town of St. George and urged other business entities to invest within the city space. David highlighted some of the major problems faced within the town of St. George.
I want to urge you as an institution, issues like flooding in the town of St. George. But business persons need to come together just like workers need to come together to deal with their issues. The businesses in the town of St. George should form an organization with respect to those issues. I urge you in that direction.
The parliamentary representative encouraged businesses to form a movement to help solve these issues.
Issues such as parking. How do we deal with the issue of parking? Many ideas. Put your ideas into the pot. Let's see how you can come together as businessmen and women in the town of St. George to assist in solving that problem. Issues such as sanitation, keeping the town clean. Issues such as access, the role of the sidewalks and ensuring that people can easily access your businesses.
Abandoned buildings, he says, is another major concern, as well as preserving our history.
But there's another issue, that of preservation, conservation of buildings in the town of St. George. That is one that you should also lend your voice to. You should lend your voice to ensuring that in the town of St. George, we do everything to develop, but to preserve. I always say, and I'll conclude with these remarks, that there's always a tension between development and conservation.
And that's the first segment of news here on MTV. We'll be back with you after the break.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News came to you in association with Nexa Credit Union. With you wherever your road leads.
But when you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever your road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever your road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next side, next side, next side, right next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Do your dreams seem far away from coming true? The National Lotteries Authority's Lotto Jackpot is $270,000. Fulfilling your plans can be just one ticket away. So, play today. Lotto. Play and win a lot of money.
Sisson's WeatherGuard Pro. For every project, there's only one Pro.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCour Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment as you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest. Visit or call LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
The second segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with the Communal Cooperative Credit Union Limited. To grow with us, save with us.
with your gifts of love for cheer 2.0. 'Tis the season for holly jolly days at the communal. It's all about sharing the warmth of this season with those you love. Getting on this special loan, taking advantage of great interest rates with no principal payments until January 2023. Share the gift of love. Offer ends January 31st, 2023. Lending terms and conditions apply.
Gifts of love with Trey.
Welcome back. Efforts are being made to restore an abandoned fort in Telescope St. Andrew as a major historic and attraction site for both locals and visitors alike by a young man who's also known for his efforts to preserve and restore the Telescope beach and coastline. More in this report.
Mike Noel, also known as Mikey, who has been a native of Telescope St. Andrew all his life and is also known for his efforts to restore the Telescope Beach area back to its former glory, is also attempting to restore a fort situated near the Telescope Quarry, overlooking the sea as a major attraction site in the big parish. MTV News took its cameras to the site on Monday and spoke with Noel, who shared a bit of history on the fort and his plans for the development of the area.
At this point in time, we are at Telescope Quarry, the fort on top telescope. And the intention for here is for here to be a place that brings revenue to our country, to our community and villages as a whole. Now, my community development throughout the telescope area is for access to know that there is other places in Grenada that makes a difference in the livelihood for the whole of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique. This fort here stands as a monument. It was used to defend our lovely country, and that is why one of the reasons that we are living here today, because of these wonderful places.
He is calling on the Ministry of Tourism and the Grenada Tourism Authority to partner with him on this venture.
Here was in bush for a lot of years, dormant to a lot of citizens. The schools, children have no idea that such a place was existing in St. Andrews. And there is others, but we're focusing on the community area today, which is Telescope. And I would like very much for the government of Grenada as well as tourism to come and take active part in this wonderful piece of plateau here, or the quarry, that we could use as a national park and have tourists and other events going on up here, which will be very beneficial for the country.
Noel said they have already begun restoring some of the artifacts.
A couple months ago, I decided to walk through the quarry and look for some stones to fix the community work doing on the side for Grenville area telescope area. The water is eating away. And strolling to the quarry, I had a chat with one of the security who told me that one of the cannons on top here go missing. So I took it on my own and hiked come up here, not even knowing that the structure was so well built and powerful still. And I made some live about the cannon. So I got a group of young lads by me who is interested in what I'm doing here. We came, we cut off. While cutting, we find the second cannon. We were told by the security and those people who used to occupy, there was a third cannon.
Noel has unofficially named the trails leading in and out of the area as Telescope Scope View, and has also indicated that there is an access road to the quarry leading to the fort as well. For MTV News, Troy Gill.
The Grenada Tourism Authority unveiled a new Grenada sign that represents the unique selling points of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique at the Melville Street Cruise Ship Terminal. A striking new sign located at the entrance of the Welcome Center welcomes visitors to Grenada with a bold and colorful display of the island's name in large lettering. The letters were crafted to feature intricate depictions of the island to deliver a compelling peek at what can be experienced here in Grenada. CEO of the Grenada Tourism Authority, Petra Roach, says a new sign is the latest effort by the authority to promote and brand Grenada as a premier tourist destination.
What we've used is the red, the yellow, the green, all colours of our national flag, and we've also honed in on all those elements that make Grenada the special island that it is. As an ecotourism destination, we're very proud of our Granitang National Park. There you can find the Mona monkey. This is the only place outside of West Africa that this monkey is found. We also have a vibrant chocolate industry, and Grenada is world famous for our tree to bar experience. We've got photos of the rum and the sugarcane, looking at the rich colonial history, looking at where we're going with some of the top 4 distilleries in the world currently, and rum that is making its way certainly on the world stage.
The sign highlights a diverse array of attractions, including picturesque beaches, lush rainforests, and historic sites.
We've got the wonderful turtles and dolphins, a tribute to our marine life and the fact that lots of people come here for snorkeling and for diving. We then move on to N with the nutmeg, and absolutely Grenada is known as the Isle of Spice, and we are certainly one of the top producers on the world stage for nutmeg. We then move on to the nautical niche. Grenada is a premier yachting and sailing destination because of our accessibility, world-class marinas, and the wealth of safe and protected anchorages here. We've also chosen to highlight the flora of the island. Bougainvillea is our national flower. Over the years, we've also been privileged enough to win several accolades at the Chelsea Flower Show, including 13 gold medals. And then the culture of the island with our Spice Mass celebrations in the second weekend of August every year.
The tourism officials are confident that the new sign will serve as a powerful symbol and a perfect representation of Grenada's unique selling points, and will inspire more visitors to explore every facet of the Tri-Island state. Organizers of the Spice Island Billfish Tournament Committee officially engaged skippers, sponsors, and the international angling community in a briefing on Monday. This ahead of the 2023 Republic Bank Grenada Limited Tournament, which gets underway from the 24th to the 27th of this month, January. Nicholas George is the committee's president.
We have most of the boats on the dock here at GYC already and across at Port Louis. We're looking forward to a fantastic year. We're hoping to have good numbers in terms of both boats and anglers. We're looking forward to some good numbers as well in terms of junior anglers and lady anglers. But everything seems to be going well. Our prize giving ceremony will be on Friday evening, and that's where we present all the prizes for the event. Today is just simply a case of registration. The skipper's briefing begins at 6:30 this evening, and that's where we state all the rules and regulations for the event, as well as just giving any particulars that the anglers may need to carry out the 3 days of competition properly. We're very excited. It boils down to us being ready for this for over a year. We prepare as soon as the event finishes. This is possibly the largest sports fishing tournament in the Southern Caribbean, so we have to put in a lot of work to get this going. So special thanks to the committee once more for putting in that work over the course of the last few months.
That's the second segment of news. Regional highlights are next.
The second segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with the Communal Cooperative Credit Union Limited. To grow with us, save with us. It's your Gifts of Love for Cheer 2.0. 'Tis the season for holly jolly days at the Communal. It's all about sharing the warmth of this season with those you love. Getting on this special loan, taking advantage of great interest rates with no principal payments until January 2023. Share the gift of love. Offer ends January 31st, 2023. Lending terms and conditions apply.
Gifts of love with Trey.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building, and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play Pick 3, Cash 4 and Play With, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sunday money day.
New Me in 2023. Coming to Courts Optical today and enjoy up to 35% off your frames and lenses with flexible payment plans available from 3 to 24 months. Schedule your appointment online today on www.courtsoptical.com. At Courts Optical, our comprehensive eye exam is always free. All major insurance providers are accepted. See in store for details. New Me 2023 with glasses from Courts Optical. Value you can see.
Your vehicle insurance should never break your bank. With Beacon, you can get up to 35% off your fully comprehensive car insurance and still get full protection from unexpected damages with free loss of use, windscreen cover, and special perils. When it comes to your insurance, always be sure you settle for more. Call us at 440-4447 or log on to beacon.co.tt and get a quote today.
At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
The third segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Ridgeway Residences, a modern, exclusive residential community offered by Ariza. Purchase one of our completely built houses or let us build for you by simply choosing your lot, choosing your home design from our selection, and let us do the rest. Owning a home does not have to be a frustrating process. For more information, contact Ariza Credit Union on 415-0994 or send us an email on info@ridgewayresidences.gd. Ridgeway Residences, hassle-free home ownership.
Are you a lover of pepper sauce? Well, look no further. On this evening's episode of MTV's Business in 3, we hear from a young and upcoming entrepreneur whose nostalgia birthed her business venture.
Welcome to another edition of MTV's Business in 3. I am Donella Hostin. Today we're speaking with Marissa James, a young entrepreneur who's going to tell us about her business, which is making pepper sauces and green seasoning.
My name is Marissa James and I'm from Black Bay St. John's, and I'm happy to speak about my products today, MJ's Hot Sauce. And the company name actually is Island Delectable. I currently do hot sauces and I would have launched my new product, Green Seasoning, last week. And that's the two products that I have at the moment. My hot sauces comes in 3 different flavors. That's an original hot sauce, a mango hot sauce, and a roasted veggie hot sauce, and different heat levels as well.
You mentioned the Mango Rush. What's the inspiration behind that?
So in January last year, I just wanted to do something different from the original hot sauce, and mango came to mind. And it took me 3 months to come up with that recipe in my head, and I was actually passing by one day and I felt like some of the fruits in Grenada is actually wasting, and I saw a lot of mangoes just wasting by the roadside, different areas, and I just wanted to be able to use a fruit that's going to waste and put it into good use. So that was really my inspiration behind using the mango. So what made me get into this? I used to do it with my grandmother as a teenager, and you know, the older folks, she was practically scared of using the blender. So I was the one who would put all the ingredients in it for her. And I remembered everything that she did. And about 2 years ago, I saw some hot peppers. It brought back some memories. And I decided to give it a shot. So I started making it. I was just giving it away to friends and family members for almost a year before I started selling the product. And when I started selling it, that was it from there. So my pepper sauce stands out because of its unique flavor, and that's something that I always would make mention of. So normally if I buy food, I was the type of person that would use a lot of pepper sauce. From my college days, my friends, everybody is aware of that. I love hot sauce. So when I made hot sauce, I wanted it to be different in terms of what it does to your food.
What would you say is your best-selling sauce?
Out of all 3, the best seller is actually the mango. It's different, and that's what persons like about it. So I'm actually at the farmers market at the Kirani James Stadium every single Saturday. Just look for, I wear my t-shirt, or look for an orange t-shirt, a table with an orange cloth. I'm there every Saturday from 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's available at Marketing Board in Young Street. You can get it Marketing Board in Carriacou, Marketing Board in Grand Anse, and you can also get it at Groceries Aris, that's on St. Francis Street in Guelph.
And that's it for this week's edition of MTV's Business in 3. I am Donella Hostin.
It's the MTV Evening News Monday. Here now is Clifton James with this evening's Regional Roundup.
Good evening with tonight's MTV Regional Roundup. I am Clifton James. Now in Haiti, nearly 4 months after its reappearance in this French-speaking Caribbean community CARICOM member state, the number of cholera victims have risen to 496 dead. In a statement on Saturday, the Ministry of Public Health and Population, MSPP, said the country has already registered 25,182 suspected cases and 21,407 hospitalized, 73 new, while 312 of the 496 deaths occurred in health institutions and 184 in the communities. In a bulletin, the health authorities state that the average age of those infected is 19 years and the positivity rate is 37.25%. Most of the suspected cases, 56.6%, are men and the remaining are women. The most affected age group is 1 to 4 years old, with 374 confirmed cases out of more than 3,000 suspected cases. The most affected department is the West, where Port-au-Prince is located and where more than 1/3 of the population lives, with 1,155 confirmed cases for 16,408 suspected cases. Last week, the World Health Organization, WHO, warned that the world is suffering unprecedented cholera outbreaks in countries affected by climate disasters and other crises. As a result, vaccines to prevent this disease have become extremely scarce. Over in Jamaica, the 37-year-old man who allegedly stabbed his uncle to death at his daughter's funeral last week has turned himself into the Port Maria police. The resident of Huddersfield in St Mary is accused of fatally stabbing 67-year-old Marvin McLean at the Whitehall Cemetery. They were among those gathered to mourn the death of the younger man's 5-year-old daughter. Speculation has been rife about the reason for the attack at the funeral. Some residents have indicated that there has long been tension in the family. However, relatives have refused to speak about the cause of the issue. One family member, who asked not to be identified by name, told Observer Online that the family is still in shock from the murder. "Look pon that, we are now bury one and the other fi find lawyer fee. It na fair," said the relative. The man accused of stabbing his uncle to death turned himself into the police on January the 19th, 4 days after the incident occurred. Liat, the Caribbean airline, has announced that it has withdrawn from service an aircraft after it came into contact with ground equipment. In a statement, Liat said they grounded the aircraft in the interest of passenger and crew safety. The aircraft is currently being evaluated following the company's safety and maintenance procedures and will be returned to service once all checks have been completed, Liat stated. The incident will disrupt today's flights and tomorrow's, according to the airline. Liat operates 3 ATR 600 aircraft to destinations including Antigua, Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Grenada. Passengers are asked to monitor their emails, and those impacted will either be accommodated on alternate services or can be rebooked. In Bermuda, about 1/3 of Bermudans have received their second and third doses of the coronavirus vaccine. Minister of Health Kim Wilson revealed this in her weekly COVID-19 update. This is good news, as vaccinations are the best way to fight the coronavirus, protect our community and save lives, Wilson stated. The territory has been able to distribute 3,868 doses of the BioNTech original adult formula, Moderna bivalent and Pfizer-BioNTech pediatric, from a shipment it received in September 2022. Wilson is encouraging islanders to visit their doctor or a local pharmacy to receive booster shots or a test to determine their COVID status. She has urged both islanders and visitors to remain vigilant and protect themselves from becoming infected with the flu, coronavirus or respiratory syncytial virus and other respiratory diseases that are prevalent during colder weather. For MTV Regional Roundup, I am Clifton James.
This is the MTV Evening News. We'll be back with you after the break.
The third segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with Arise Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Ridgeway Residences, a modern, exclusive residential community offered by Ariza. Purchase one of our completely built houses or let us build for you by simply choosing your lot, choosing your home design from our selection, and let us do the rest. Owning a home does not have to be a frustrating process. For more information, contact a Riser Credit Union on 415-0994 or send us an email on info@ridgewayresidences.gd. Ridgeway Residences, hassle-free home ownership.
You're watching the MTV Evening News. Sporting highlights are next.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sandy Manity.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
Holy Natural Spring Water is a water for every occasion. On the field of sports, at your workplace, just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy Natural Spring Water is produced in Mama Can St. Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone 444-7654 or 533-7654. Holy Natural Spring Water, Grenada's purest bottled water.
Grenada Olympic Committee launches beach tennis. That story and more coming up in our sporting highlights.
The MTV Evening Sports is brought to you in association with Courts, bringing value home.
A special evening to you sporting fans. Here now is Troy Gill with your highlights.
Over the weekend, the Grenada Olympic Committee launched beach tennis on Grandad's Beach in front of the Radisson Hotel, together with members from the Lawn Tennis and Table Tennis Association and other sporting disciplines. Junior Tennis Initiative Coordinator in Grenada is Jason Stanislaus.
We have contacted the ITF, on numerous occasions in regards to launching beach tennis, which, now becoming a popular sport, not in the manner in which it's being played here, without the nets. Now we have received the equipment from the International Tennis Federation, so now we see it fit to launch beach tennis and have a yearly beach tennis program.
Stanislaus spoke about the difference between beach tennis and lawn tennis.
The similarity is similar from tennis. The scoring is the same as tennis. Only difference is that the ball must not touch the ground. If the ball touches the line, it's in. If the ball touches the net, it's in play. In regular tennis, if the ball touches the net, it's a let. In this beach tennis, if the ball touches the net, the ball is in play. As well as you only have one serve, so there's no two serves, there's only one serve. And if any part of your body or material touches the line while serving, you lose a point immediately.
Grenada Athletic Association held its 5th development meet, the Charlie George Classic, at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. The GAA honored Charlie George for his tremendous contribution to the development of the sport of athletics in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Mr. George was recognized at Development Meet 5. Moving forward, a development meet will be called the Charlie George Classic. Here are some highlights of the track and field event. The Grenada Football Association held the opening of our club administration workshop at the Royalton Hotel on Saturday 21st. The Bermuda FA General Secretary David Sabir facilitated the club administration workshop, with Sabir urging the club representatives to widen their view of football in Grenada beyond the GFA and clubs. He said all of us are needed to move the football in Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique forward. Some of the affiliates share their views after day one of the workshop.
I think today has been a victory for football in Grenada, where all the clubs were here discussing club administration. I think the GFA would have done a very good job by bringing us here to discuss how to run and administrate clubs properly. What would have stood out today for me personally is to really come up with a proper strategy to deal with the younger persons in our community.
Today's workshop is very informative, and the information which was disseminated to all the club presidents, it will help the presidents to disseminate the information back to their members of their club, respective clubs, so that they will be better prepared to run the organization.
It's a lot of information, but very informative. It's stuff that if not all of us or most of us should have known already, but it's a good reinforcement of what we already know. We also learned a lot of things which could bring benefits to our club, which if we only put it into practice, it should get us where we want to be. I think one of the things that stood out most is things in our everyday lives that we took for granted, which when explained, that could help our club very much, immensely, even getting our finances done.
And that's it for this evening's sports. I am Troy Gill.
Thank you, Troy, for the latest there in sport. And viewers, when we return, we'll have the public forecast information for you and then a recap of tonight's major stories.
The MTV Evening Sports was brought to you in association with Courts, bringing value home.
Good Monday evening, viewers, once again with your nighttime weather forecaster, meteorologist Wayne Williams. Mixed conditions throughout the Eastern Caribbean today. After a lovely start to the day, we did see an increase in cloudiness as the small patches of low-level clouds from in the Atlantic moved across the region. We're going to see quite a bit more of these coming over the next couple of days, so keep your fingers crossed for 1 or 2 very brief showers. There still is that slight haze, denser haze further to the east, but even that is easing a bit as we're now out of the general dry season of West Africa. That is, we do have a surface trough in the form of a frontal system coming off North America that is not expected to reach too far into the Caribbean Sea, so we should not really see any major effects from that. Right now, of note, these patches of moisture moving into the Caribbean region could bring some showers, as I said, over the next couple of days. Right now, some patches to the north and to the south of Grenada, we're seeing clear skies, but the moisture is there, so showers, sharp showers are likely over the next couple of days. Tonight, however, we are expecting partly cloudy conditions, any showers, and we do expect some showers, a 60% chance of localized showers occurring. Winds would coming from east between 10 and 22 miles per hour, 1 or 2 higher gusts at times. Minimum temperature still around 23. The moon, the moon rises tomorrow morning at 9:03, and the moon is going to set tomorrow night at 10 minutes past 9. On Tuesday, partly cloudy conditions, but that would be interrupted by some brief sharp showers. Easterly winds would blow between 12 and 24 miles per hour with the moderate to slightly choppy seas, 4 to 6 foot waves. Sunrise 6:32, sunset 6:05. Temperature will climb to around 31 and feel like 34. Isolated showers in Port of Spain, some sharp brief showers are in the forecast for Bridgetown. Isolated showers also in Kingston. Miami expected to be mostly cloudy with partly cloudy skies in both New York and London. It will be relatively cool in both those cities. Here at home, variable cloudy conditions leading into the start of the weekend. Slightly gusty winds, and those about a 50% chance of those pop-up showers occurring from Wednesday through Friday. How it's looking right now, we should be seeing generally fair conditions for the weekend with a slight increase in cloudiness after that. That is it for me for Monday night, folks. Have yourself a great night. Remember, you can join me again right here on Tuesday.
And now to end the news, a recap of the major stories. A union is calling on CaneCo to rethink its decision to release harvesters. The chief medical officer says COVID-19 has not completely left Grenada. Sonova partners with the ECCB, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, that is, to roll out D-Cash or digital cash. And in sport, the Grenada Olympic Committee has launched beach tennis. We've had details to these and other stories, but just before we end, a reminder for you to join us right here from 7:30 tomorrow, Tuesday, morning time, of course, for another edition of Rise and Shine with Jocelyn Crosby. She'll be speaking with opposition leader Dr. Keith Mitchell. Again, tomorrow morning, right here on MTV from 7:30. All for now, on behalf of the news and production departments, I'm Tony Julian. We all thank you for watching and wish you a good night.
I'm a winner, you are winner, we are winners, winners, winners.
It's the big one. Grenada, imagine winning $25,000 and up to 6 times by scratching just one later ticket. Get your triple cash scratch tickets for a chance to live your best life. Win easy with Scratch. For just $3, match any of your numbers to any of the winning numbers and win the prize shown for that number. Reveal a money back symbol and win the prize instantly. Triple cash scratch in stores now. Must be 18 or older to play.
Cause I'm a winner. From the moment that I get up, I'm feeling right.
Hello viewers and listeners, this is the National Lotteries Authority's Daily Pick 3 evening draw. It is Monday, January 23rd, 2023. I'm your draw hostess Leslie Ann Johnson. Supervising the draw is Ms. Giselle Alexander, who's representing PKF accountants and business advisors. A quick reminder as usual, there are 4 different bet types in this particular game from which you can choose. They're called in line, mix, pair, and backup. It pays to play Daily Pick 3, so let's see if you are a lucky winner. Good luck to you. Alright, so first number 9, the second number. 9 as well, the final number. 1. Alright, just to recap for your benefit, our first number is 9, followed by 9, the final is 1. So that's 9, 9, and 1. Congratulations if you are a lucky winner. Congratulations as well to our 52 Daily Pick 3 winners. From our midday draw, the total payout was $8,530. The Playway draw is up next. We'll see you soon.
I'm a winner, you are winner, we are winners, winners, winners.
It's the big one. Grenada. Imagine winning $25,000 and up to 6 times by scratching just one lotto ticket. Get your triple cash scratch tickets for a chance to live your best life. Win easy with Scratch. For just $3, match any of your numbers to any of the winning numbers and win the prize shown for that number. Reveal a money bag symbol and win the prize instantly. Triple cash scratch. In stores now. Must be 18 or older to play.
Cause I'm a winner. From the moment that I get up, I'm feeling right.
Hello once again. This is the National Lotteries Authority's Playway Evening Draw for today, Monday, January 23rd, 2023. I'm your draw hostess, Leslie Ann Johnson. With me once again, Ms. Giselle Alexander, representing PKF Accountants and Business Advisors. In this game, you can bet from $1 up to $10, or you can bet in increments on any number or any dream symbol of your choice and be in with a chance to win 24 times the amount you bet. That is $24 for every $1 that you spend. Value your dreams and win your way with Playway. Let's see if you are a lucky winner. Good luck to you. For tonight. Number is 19. Once again, our Playway number is 1919. The dream symbol is blood. Congratulations if you are a lucky winner. Congratulations as well to our 259 Playway winners from our midday draw. The total payout was $23,808. Stay with us. The Daily Cash 4 is up next. We'll see you soon.
Win more with the NLA's Daily Cash 4 every day with more plays and bigger prizes to be won. It's a 4-digit game with all the bet types you already know and much, much more. From 0000 to 9999. Choose your 4 numbers and place your bet from 11 different bet types. Choose from inline, 4 different mixes, first 3, last 3, and 4 different backup options too. Best of all, it starts at just $1, except for backups, which starts at $2. Win as much as $5,000 with a $1 inline bet, and as much as $6,200 in a $2 backup bet. Imagine $50,000 for a winning $10 inline bet. There's definitely more to win with the Daily Cash 4. More plays, bigger prizes, twice per day, Mondays to Saturdays. Must be 18 and over to participate. NLA, making your dreams come true while supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
All right, here we are once again. This is the National Lotteries Authority's Daily Cash 4 Evening Draw. It is Monday, January 23rd, 2023. I'm your draw hostess, Leslie Ann Johnson. Back with me once again, Ms. Giselle Alexander, representing PKF Accountants and Business Advisors. In this game, you can choose any number from 0 to 9 in any of the 11 bet types offered. The tickets cost as little as $1, except backup, which costs $2. More plays, bigger prizes. Let's play Daily Cash 4. Good luck to you. Okay, here we go. Our first number, 1. The second number, 9. The next number, 1. The final number, 8. Okay, so just to recap for the benefit of first number is 1 followed by 9. The next number 1. The final is 8. 1, 9, 1, and 8. Congratulations if you are a lucky winner. Congratulations as well to our 22 winners from our midday draw. The total payout was $14,450. Stay with us. The Lotto draw comes up shortly. We're playing for $270,000. We'll see you real soon.
Win more with the NLA's Daily Cash 4 every day with more plays and bigger prizes to be won. It's a 4-digit game with all the bet types you already know and much, much more. From 0000 to 9999. Choose your 4 numbers and place your bet from 11 different bet types. Choose from inline, 4 different mixes, first 3, last 3, and 4 different backup options too. Best of all, it starts at just $1, except for backups, which starts at $2. Win as much as $5,000 with a $1 inline bet and as much as $6,200 in a $2 backup bet. Imagine $50,000 for a winning $10 inline bet. There's definitely more to win with the Daily Cash 4. More plays, bigger prizes, twice per day, Mondays to Saturdays. Must be 18 and over to participate. NLA, making your dreams come true while supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Good evening, viewers and listeners. This is the National Lotteries Authority's Lotto Draw number 3462 for today, Monday, January 23rd, 2023. I'm your draw hostess, Leslie Ann Johnson. Supervising the draw is Ms. Giselle Alexander, representing PKF Accountants and Business Advisors. So we're playing for $270,000 tonight. But of course, before we select our 5 winning numbers, we will select your free ticket letter. Free ticket letter is A as in apple. Check to see if this matches the letter on your ticket. If it does, of course, you can claim your free ticket at your outlet of purchase. So we'll now select tonight's 5 winning numbers for $270,000. Good luck to you. Check your tickets. Our first number. That number is 27. Second number. 8, tonight's third number. So have your tickets out in the meantime. Alright, that number is 12, our fourth number. 28, the fifth and final number. 29. Okay, so let's just recap for your benefit. We'll start with a free ticket letter. That is A, as in apple. And our 5 winning numbers for $270,000. 27, 27, 8, 08, 12, 12, 28, 28, and 29, 29. Congratulations to you, of course, if you are tonight's lucky winner. Continue supporting the National Lotteries Authority. Have a great night.
For over 80 years, we have been the trusted friend you relied on for comfort, support, and guidance. At Lacroix Brothers, we continue to provide the professional quality services you need when a loved one passes on. And now, for your convenience and added financial ease, we offer specially designed funeral packages for only $6,000 VAT inclusive. Special conditions apply. As you plan ahead, we have removed all enrollment fees for our burial society. This offer ends December 31st. Enter your loved one into eternal rest. Visit Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home for greater choices at the lowest possible prices. Select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. Serving you from locations in St. George's, Grenville, and Carriacou. Telephone 440-2302. Call us any time of day or visit www.lacroixbrothers.com. Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home, continuing a proud Grenadian tradition of excellence.
Patricia Marshall, affectionately known as Patty, of Grandon St. George, who resided at Tempe, passed away on Thursday, 22nd December 2022. She was the wife of Ennison Marshall, daughter of Yolande Hagley and Jacob Wilson, sister of Sayobhan Hagley and Erin Wilson, honorary mother of Akim Marshall, niece of Grantley, Bernard, Robert, Curtis, Jacqueline, Cleveroy and Alric Entwine, Arlene Fraser, Augustine and Rachel Wilson, and Angela Haling, sister-in-law of Rhea, Gina, and Nigel Marshall, daughter-in-law of Valerie Marshall, stepdaughter of Eugene Hagley and Delisha Wilson, stepsister of Abigail Hagley Hay, niece-in-law of Marilyn, Marilou, Florence and Donna Entwine, Cyril Fraser, and Pastor Selwyn Haling. Many other relatives and friends, including cousins-in-law, Pastor Adrian Banfield, and members of the Gateway Assembly, and friends and neighbors of Grandons and Tempe St. George, and other relatives and friends too numerous to mention. The funeral of the late Patricia Marshall, affectionately known as Patty, of Grandons, who resided at Tempe St. George, will take place on Tuesday, 24th January at 12 noon. Funeral service will be held at the Gateway Assembly, Point Celine, St. George, and entombment will be at the St. George's Centre Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Ralph Monroe, also known as Compere, of Vendham, St. George, passed away on Thursday, January 5th, 2023, at the age of 84. He was the father of Marilyn, Charmaine, and Jennifer Monroe in the USA, grandfather of Simone Rowe, brother of Rosa Noel Jones, Abigail Eleanor Noel, and Martha Value Noel Moriet in the UK, Desiree Boyd, George Osmond Francis, Baron Monroe in the USA, Royston, George Charlo Jones, Kenneth and Fletcher Frank, brother-in-law of Phyllis Francis and Deborah Frank in Grenada, and Rudell Noel Beswick in the UK. Many cousins, other relatives and close friends, including the Bowen family in the United Kingdom, the MacPhail family of Annandale, the Francis and Frank families of Vendham, the Klein family, Desmond, Gladys and Dennis Francis in the USA, Helen Francis Huggins and Claudette Francis in Trinidad, the Beswick family in the United Kingdom, the management and staff of the Hillsview Home for the Aged, and friends and neighbors of Vendham and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Ralph Monroe, also known as Compere, of Vendham St. George, will take place on Tuesday, 24th January at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Beaulieu Roman Catholic Church, and interment will be at the Vendham Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Moses Allard of Grand Bacolet St. Andrew passed away on Wednesday, 28th December 2022, at the age of 88. He was the husband of Sheila Allard, also known as Miss Elsa, father of Hyacinth, Vicklin, and Kenny in the USA, Alan, also known as Bull, Edward, also known as Brina, and Miona in Grenada. Grandfather of 38, including Rachel, Megan, Chanel, Najwa, Robert, Brian, Gary, Charmaine, Nicoyan, and Craig. Great-grandfather of 32, including Diamond, Brittany, Jamal, Jasmine, and Deron. Great-great-grandfather of 1. Brother of David and Gladys in the UK. Father-in-law of Irvin George, Joyce, Patricia, and Erica. Brother-in-law of Winifred, Anne and Bernadette in the USA, Ruby in the United Kingdom, Raymond and Bernardo. Uncle of many. Many cousins, other relatives and close friends, including Samantha, Roslyn, the Allard, Mahone, Japal, Panchu, Bishop, and Cadu families of Grand Bacolet, Cafe, Malmount, Corinth, and Monlong, and friends and neighbors of Grand Bacolet and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Moses Allard of Grand Bacolet St. Andrew will take place on Tuesday, 24th January at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Grand Bacolet Baptist Church, and interment will be at the Family Cemetery, Grand Bacolet. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Austin Cosnell Frank, also known as Casino, of Vendham St. George, died on Tuesday, November 29, 2022, at the age of 96. He is survived by his wife Veronica Frank, also known as Tanvero of Vendham, now residing in Canada. 10 children: Rupert, Lynetta, Laurel and Dyron residing in Grenada, Rufus, Reginald, Lynette, Ralphin, Juliet and Libert, all residing in Canada. Sons-in-law Mohammed Banda residing in Canada, Dunstan Bernard of Vendham and Nathan Campbell. Daughters-in-law Christine, Robin, Coletta and Ermin Mason, all residing in Canada. 27 grandchildren including Bev, Chrislyn, Ryan, Byron, PC 907 Damian Frank, Deanna and others residing in Grenada, Canada and the USA. 24 great-grandchildren. Brothers and sister Raymond Frank residing in Trinidad, Matthew Frank residing in St. Martin and Francis Pear residing in Canada. Brothers-in-law Tony residing in the USA, Whitey residing in Trinidad, and David Pear residing in Canada. Sisters-in-law Madeline Frank in St. Martin, Annetta and Manetta of Victoria. Many nieces and nephews in Grenada, Canada, the USA, Trinidad, and St. Martin. Other relatives and close friends including Judith Hamilton, Margaret Ann Noel, and Ivan, also known as Redman, all residing in Canada, and others throughout Grenada. The Frank family of Vendham, Boca, New Hampshire, St. David, Birchgrove, and surrounding areas. The Andrew, Norrie, Morris, Thomas, Cooper, Walker, Francis, Ross, Williams, and Bartholomew families. The funeral service for the late Austin Costnell Frank, also known as Casino of Vendham St. George, will take place on Wednesday, 25th January at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Beaulieu Roman Catholic Church, and interment will be at the Vendham Family Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Jean Braffett, also known as Tonty Dreda, of Woburn St. George, passed away on Wednesday, 11th January 2023, at the age of 86. Left to mourn are her children Judy Belmar, Osbert Braffett residing in Canada, Helen, Samuel, James, Scott, Roger and Patricia Braffett, Beverly George, Terence Coutain and Kimron Neptune. Siblings Tony Gill, Hollis and Albert Scotland in the USA, Joycelyn, Brenda, Michael and Frederick Scotland, all in Trinidad. Sisters-in-law Denise Scotland residing in Trinidad and Ruth Scotland residing in the USA. Daughters-in-law Ina, Joy, Cathian, Karen and Michelle Braffett. Sons-in-law Alban Belmar, Ian George and Marcus Edwards. 21 grandchildren, 10 great-grands. Many nieces and nephews. Many other close relatives and friends including Nurse Sherry and Bagwan, the Batson and Belmar families, Velma Grosvenor and family, Anselm Latouche and family, Gemma MacDonald and family, the Moore and Lambert families, the Smith, Pascal and Williams families, Bernadette Otley and family, the Gill, Quint, Joseph, Bruno and Penny families, Oliver Mitchell and family, Angela Joseph and family, Glennis Roberts and family, Pastor Gilbert and the congregation of the Open Bible Church. The funeral of the late Jean Braffett, also known as Tonty Dreda, of Woburn St. George, will take place on Wednesday, 25th January at 2 p.m. Tributes begin at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Springs Open Bible Church, and interment will be at the Family Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Garth George, also known as Ziggo, Zig or Mr. George, of Green Street and Williamson Road, St. George's, who resided at Mount Parnassus, Rady, St. George, died on Wednesday, January 4th, 2023, at the age of 82. Left to mourn his daughters, Jill George and Prudence George, sister Denise Robinson. Many nieces and nephews, including Wendell in Grenada, Hugh, Lawndale, and Reno in New Jersey, the USA and Canada. Other relatives and friends, including close friends Leroy, Fitzroy, Derek, and the boys by the Yacht Club, members of the Methodist Church, and members of the Athletics Association. The funeral of the late Garth George, also known as Ziggo, Zig, or Mr. George of Green Street and Williamson Road, St. George's, who resided at Montparnassus, Rady, St. George, will take place on Wednesday, 25th January at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. George's Methodist Church, and entombment will be at the Top Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Horace Anatole Dialli, also known as Go Papa, of Duquesne, St. Mark, passed away on Thursday, December 8, 2023, at the age of 87. He was the father of Erica Downs Stanislaus, adopted father of Emma, Martin, Chandel, Donisha and Travis in the USA, and Blondell in Grenada, father-in-law of Roger Stanislaus, brother of Esther, Ermin and Stephen, also known as Mento in Grenada, Samson, Lydia, Cicely, Teresa and Leah in the USA, Ramnat and Monica in England, and Jean in Bermuda, brother-in-law of many, uncle of many including Andrea and Charles. Many other relatives and friends including Winifred Peters, Erica Roach, Keisha, Cencia, Jude Bernard, Vidiali, Downs, Stanislaus, Narayan, Bola, Ramjohn, Frame, Gangadine, Hostin, Walker, Japal, Johnson and Slinger families, and friends and neighbors of Duquesne and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Horace Anatole Dialli, also known as Go Papa, of Duquesne, St. Mark, will take place on Thursday, 26th January at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Samaritan Presbyterian Church, and entombment will be at the Family Cemetery, Duquesne. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Evelyn Callius James, also known as Napo, of Paradise St. Andrew, died on Friday, 13th January 2023, at the age of 54. Left to cherish his memories are his father, Thomas Walcott in Trinidad, siblings Claudia Batiste, Jason James, Laslin and Jason Joseph in Grenada, Thomas Walters, Jeanette Joseph, and Keaton in Trinidad, Uncle Wayne James, Aunt Anne James, many nieces and nephews too numerous to mention, other relatives and friends including Mintrude, Aline Paul, Clifford Pro Caliste, Mrs. Clarine Cadet, Cheyenne and Sadie Date, Michael Hilaire, Cedric Charles and family, Miss Gemma Gordon and family, Diana Bole and family, Sharon Walcott and family, and neighbors and loved ones of Paradise and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Evelyn Callius James, also known as Napo, of Paradise St. Andrew, will take place on Thursday, 26th January at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Andrew the Apostle R.C. Church, Grenville, and interment will be at the Grand Bras Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Exelius Anita Amede of New Hampshire St. George passed away on Tuesday, 3rd January 2023, at the age of 90. She was the mother of Gerald in Trinidad, Petra, Cheryl, Joan in the USA, Janice and Joanne in Grenada, grandmother of Sheldon, Akim, Akel, Marcus, Lexan, Kamika, Shakira, Ariana, Marvin, Afisha, Jolika, Joaki, Kendall, Dijon, and Clint. Great-grandmother of Logan, Zayden, Xavier, Chase, Sheldon, Edward, JC, Madison, Amaya, Shania, Janae, Jumel, Kyle, Caden, Caravani, and Adele. Mother-in-law of Glenda Amede, Anthony Williams, and Derek Andrews. Sister of Agneta Frederick and Norel Amede. Aunt of many in the United Kingdom, the USA, and Grenada, including Wilma Murrell, Germaine Murrell, Gemma Paris, Beryl, Judith, Celia, Germaine, Francique, Elva, Warrell, Rudolph, and Everall. Several grandnieces and nephews, other relatives and close friends, including Roseanne Mitchell, Clementina Braveboy, Lucita McBurney, Agatha Murrell, Kit Ross, Roy Sylvester, Jermaine Lewis, Leroy, also known as Mansour, Shane, Ricky, Keon, Leno, Patsy, the Amede families of New Hampshire, Happy Hill, Brazan, Beausejour, Grand Mall, Montparnassus and St. Paul's, Dr. Keith Mitchell and the Mitchell family of Happy Hill and New Hampshire, the George and Thomas families of Carriacou, the Lewis and Sylvester families, the pastor and members of the Wallace Memorial Pentecostal Church, and friends and neighbors of New Hampshire and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Exelia Senita Amedi of New Hampshire St. George will take place on Thursday, 26th January at 1:30 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Wallace Memorial Pentecostal Church, Annandale, St. George, and interment will be at the Family Cemetery, New Hampshire. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Venetia Louise Samuel of Grandlet St. Andrew passed away on Monday, 9th January 2023 at the age of 67. She was the wife of Samson Samuel, mother of Ronald Charles, Norrell Samuel and Ronika Samuel in Grenada, Rhonda Edwards and Kent Samuel in Canada, adopted mother of Sandra and Sherry-Ann, grandmother of Ronell, Daryl, Nikado, Rihanna, Ronald Jr., Jamel, Makisha, Kira, Nikel, Makel, Tiana, Bianca and BG, sister of Fabriana and Louisa, mother-in-law of Junior Edwards, sister-in-law of many including Doreen, Edmund, Alfred and Roden Lewis, aunt of many other relatives and close friends including the pastors and members of the evangelical churches in Grenada, cousin Monica O'Neill, Lennox Charles and family, Benji Charles and family, Phyllis Date and family, Eiffel Romaine and family, Irene Mapp and family, Lynthia Edwards and family, the Charles family of Monthorn, the Samuel and Aquard families of Conference, Urban and Sandra Charles, Faith Lynn Barry, Jesse Douglas and family, Marina Charles, and friends and neighbors of Monthorn, Paradise, Lakabeki, and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Venetia Louise Samuel of Grandlet St. Andrew will take place on Friday, 27th January at 2 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Monthorn Seventh-day Adventist Church according to evangelical rites, and interment will be at the Monthorn Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Dominic Horsford Alexis, also known as Tati and Da, of Munich, who resided at Mamakan St. Andrew, passed away on Monday, 9th January 2023 at the age of 91. He was the husband of Mary Anitha Alexis, father of Neri, Nell, Brenda, Nicole, Kathleen, Charmaine, Cletus and Deslin, adopted father of Lenroy Francis, grandfather of 24 including Nakisha, Shelley, Ziggy, Chanel, Kazim, Caden, Cadell, Nelline, Melissa, Janelle, Kaylin, Giselle, Adele, Devon, Andy and Alex. Great-grandfather of Shireen, Nazel, Kiwana, Kimon and Khalid. Brother of Clive, Michael, Selwyn, Nellie, Rose and Levi. Brother-in-law of Edna, Adina, Claim, Madonna, Matthew and Benedict. Father-in-law of Deborah Alexis, Franklin Felix and Jerome Henry. Uncle of many including Fabian, Charlo, Lynette, Rodney, Lucille, Lydia, Pamela and Deron. Many other relatives and friends including Yvonne, Ray, Miriam, the Alexis family of Munich and Mamakan, the Francis family of Mamakan and Felix Park, Merrill, Selma, Sharon, the pastor and members of the Mamakan Independent Baptist Church, and friends and neighbors of Mamakan and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Dominic Horsford Alexis, also known as Tati and Da, of Munich, who resided at Mamakan St. Andrew, will take place on Friday, 27th January at 2 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Mamakan Independent Baptist Church, and interment will be at the Churchyard Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Catherine Eileen Simon of Happy Hill St. George, a member of the Legion of Mary and the Uganda Martyrs Church congregation, passed away on Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023, at the age of 86. She was the wife of Cyril Simon, mother of Jude Simon, Bernadette and Peter in the USA, and Suzanne Houston in Grenada, sister of Leslie, Johnny, Hermione, and Nola in the USA, sister-in-law of Addington, Dave, and Rose St. Louis, aunt of many including Irva, Cindy, Lisa, Sean, Dave, Astra, Dafra, Brandon, Natasha, Amika, Marilyn, Sonny, Marcia, and Robin. Many cousins, other relatives and close friends including Vanessa Campbell, Jerry and Khalil Houston, Dr. Jude and Twine and family, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell and family, the Nichols, Redhead and Sandy families of Happy Hill, Shirley Jones and family, Dennis Hostin and family, Joyce Francis and family, Margaret Simeon and family, Tiny Samuel and family, Claire Joseph and family, Hema Ramroop and family, Lidris Joseph and family, Lydia Telesford and family, Julie Greenwich and family, and friends and neighbours of Happy Hill and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Catherine Eileen Simon of Happy Hill, St. George, will take place on Friday, 27th January at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception, Church Street, St. George's, and entombment will be at the St. George's Centre Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Thomas Paul Peter, also known as Dixie and Zest, of Beaton, who resided at Apretute St. David, a well-known musician, passed away on Wednesday, 28th December 2022, at the age of 75. He was the husband of Daphne, father of Kieron, Leron, and Samara in Grenada, Donna and Petlin in New York, stepfather of Udine, Randy, Yoland, Ellen, and Samantha, grandfather of 8 including Jadon, Destiny, Gia, and Germaine, brother of Carl Winston, Jude, and Helen Greenwich, brother-in-law of 6, uncle of many other relatives and friends including Shanae John, Kester Sylvester, Militia Sharp, the Dominic family of Beaton, the Latouche family of Cafe St. Andrew, Pastor Rosanna Hyacinth, the pastors and members of the Apretute IPA, the Pomerous Pentecostal and Beaton New Testament churches, and friends and neighbors of Apretute, Hope, Beaton and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Thomas Paul Peter, also known as Dixie and Zest, of Beaton, who resided at Apretute St. David, will take place on Monday, January 30th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Beaton New Testament Church, and interment will be at the Family Cemetery, Beaton. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Augusta Campbell, also known as Miss Ruthie and Tanty Ruthie of New Hampshire St. George, passed away on Monday, 9th January 2023, at the age of 95. Left to mourn are her children Vernice Campbell in the UK, Wilfred Bailey and Arthur Campbell in Grenada, David Campbell in Trinidad, Maria Paris in the USA, Albertha McMeo, Marita Andrews, Paul Campbell and Michael Campbell, all in Grenada. Sister Lona Campbell, daughters-in-law Cynthia Campbell in Trinidad and Yvonne Bailey, sons-in-law Alan Andrews, Joseph McMeo and Pastor Samson Paris in the USA. 21 grandchildren including Kyron, Errol, Leslie, Peter Gooding, Deron Paris in the UK, Narissa, Stefan Andrews and Zorina Andrews, Andal, Sean, Byron, Dave, Alion and Wynell, all in Grenada, Hazel, Shireen, Ray, Vanessa, all in Trinidad, Dr. Trevor, Andre, Krista Stephen, and Miran Sr., all in the USA. 23 great-grandchildren, 1 great-great-grand. Other relatives and friends including the Campbell family of New Hampshire, Bellevue and Beaulieu, the Frederick, Murrell and Regis families of New Hampshire, Julius Gooding, Anne James and family of New Hampshire, Brian Andel, Reuben Jilks, and Emo Langdon and family. The funeral of the late Augusta Campbell, also known as Miss Ruthie and Tanty Ruthie of New Hampshire St. George, will take place on Tuesday, 31st January at 11 a.m. Funeral service will be held at the Wallace Memorial Pentecostal Church, New Hampshire, and interment will be at the Family Cemetery, Granton. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Worthina Veronica Charles, also known as Miss Worthy of St. Cloud St. Andrew, passed away on Friday, 6th January 2023, at the age of 89. She was the mother of Albert, Ulrich, Thomas, Nicholas and William Charles. Sister of Deslin, Anne, Jerry, Dunbar, Phyllis and Philip. Grandmother of 16. Great-grandmother of 24. Close cousin of Aldix Brazan. Many other relatives and friends of St. Cloud's, Mirabeau and surrounding areas, including the Charles and Hilaire families. Special thanks to the staff at the St. Martin's Care Home at Crowshoe. The funeral service for the late Worthina Veronica Charles, also known as Miss Worthy, of St. Cloud St. Andrew, will take place on Thursday, 2nd February at 2 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Grenville Pentecostal Lighthouse, and entombment will be at the Grand Bras Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Wayne's Funeral Home. Wilton Allard, also known as Tiki or Titi, of Lassages St. David, died on Thursday, 19th January 2023, at the age of 34. The funeral arrangements for the late Wilton Allard, also known as Tiki or Titi, of Lassages St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Michael Bonaparte, also known as Mr. B or Part, of Monlong St. Andrew, passed away on Tuesday, 17th January 2023, at the age of 56. The funeral arrangements for the late Michael Bonaparte, also known as Mr. B or Part, of Monlong St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. George Mark, also known as Hennessy, of Plains St. Patrick, passed away on Thursday, 19th January 2023, at the age of 85. The funeral arrangements for the late George Mark, also known as Hennessy, of Plains St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Vernell Mary Nixon, of Beaulieu St. George, passed away on Thursday, 19th January 2023, at the age of 42. The funeral arrangements for the late Vernell Mary Nixon of Beaulieu St. George will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Desmond Abraham Williams, also known as Pampy, of Constantine, who resided at Boca St. George, former employee of Gravel and Concrete Production, passed away on Tuesday, 16th January 2023, at the age of 66. The funeral arrangements for the late Desmond Abraham Williams, also known as Pampy, of Constantine, who resided at Boca St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Dennis Thomas, also known as Shipwright or Kirk, of Springs St. George, passed away on Sunday, 15th January 2023, at the age of 81. The funeral arrangements for the late Dennis Thomas, also known as Shipwright or Kirk, of Springs St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Joseph Gregory Jones Frank of New Hampshire St. George, a well-known carpenter and musician, passed away on Thursday, 17th November 2022 in New York, at the age of 73. The funeral arrangements for the late Joseph Gregory Jones Frank of New Hampshire St. George will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. David Andrew Monroe, also known as Brother of Victoria St. Mark, passed away on Monday, 16th January 2023, at the age of 59. The funeral arrangements for the late David Andrew Monroe, also known as Brother of Victoria St. Mark, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
The management and staff of MTV extend deepest condolences to those of you whose loved ones have passed on. Thank you for watching.
(14 and verse 13). Blessed
is a dead that died in the Lord. If your loved one died in the Lord, you have nothing to worry about. You could be confident that that one is in a better place. But what about you who are left behind to mourn? What if you had been called? Were you ready? If you are not ready, you can be ready while you're alive. The word of God says it's appointed unto man once to die, but after this is the judgment. So you can live, and after death, you're going to live forever. You would not be disintegrated into nothing. You would be living forever. So while you're alive is the time